She's not a woman but a system that guides people without them noticing. You are different from everyone. Your loneliness is not a secret to you, it is your identity. This loneliness is not pain but a subtle form of control. You think at night. You walk in the corridors of thought. Your steps echo, words accumulate. While people laugh and talk around you, getting stuck on the same small worries of the same morning, your mind turns another way. Why is everyone so superficial? Why does no one avoid encountering deep pain? This loneliness is not only a feeling of exclusion, it is a power of observation. Where others are satisfied with walls, you see the architecture behind the walls. This wears you down but also makes you strong, because the one who notices ultimately holds control. Do you remember perhaps a memory you wish to forget? A word, a look, a missing touch? While you replay that moment in your mind again and again, you are doing a tiny calculation. You figure out who made which move, which word hid which intention. People are content with fixed roles. You see the solitary actor behind the roles. This annoys you because they confuse the game with life. Yet you see the game, measure its limits, account for the moves. The memories you recall, please write them in the comments. These memories may be perceived as a slight weakness because you allow feelings to leave the stage. Logic works backstage. But this weakness is actually control. For most people, power is proclaimed loudly, but your power is quiet. The calculating mind in silence is the sharpest sword. Think of Dostoyevsky's characters. People who do not appear to seek destruction openly, yet are slaves to ideas that unsettle inner balance. Like them, you know the dark folds of human nature. Shame, pride, the distortions of desire. Dostoyevsky looks with an eye that grasps both the light and dark sides of a person. You have a similar awareness. This difference isolates you. Because wherever you are in the background, when truths come to you, they strip off their clothes. And people do not like to be naked. Most people chase feeling good. You chase seeing the truth. These two rarely overlap. That is why you stay outside, in the role of spectator, yet appearing to be a participant on the stage of the game. This distance may seem like weakness, because those with the deepest hearts are the ones who display their feelings loudly. But here is a contradiction. The silence that labels you weak makes you a true politician. The politics of managing emotions. Control often means softening emotional outbursts, turning an inner storm into the helm of a ship. And control is easily misunderstood. Today I will tell you 11 feminine weaknesses. These are not your weaknesses. These are your methods of control. Each is a subtle but effective strategy that opposes society's definition of power. Before I list them, keep one thing in mind. By feminine weakness, I mean not powerlessness, but strategic sensitivity. This sensitivity is a shape-shifting defense, seemingly fragile, essentially calculated. Like the female characters in Dostoyevsky's novels, outwardly gentle, inwardly stormy. How much of you shows and how much you hide is up to you. 1. Silent consent. Consent given without words. People misread your silence, yet you are merely testing the other's intention. When you do not speak, the other reveals themselves. Is this a weakness? No. This is a dose of control, triggering behaviors and exposing true intent. Notice this in yourself. When do you keep silent and when do you speak? 2. The observing smile. A light smile appearing on the face hides the truth. When people open up to you, your smile neutralizes their weapons, because even while building trust, control remains with you. This is not a weak mask. It is conscious energy saving for the decision moment. The quiet way of being strong. 3. Touch with thought. Instead of physical contact, you extend your mind questions, silent analyses, waiting. Touch is entering someone's inner world. You first knock on the door, then wait for the answer. This patience is the most feminine form of control. Carefully chosen contact. 4. Small sacrifices. You deliberately sacrifice something. Time, attention, a moment, but this sacrifice shapes the big picture. People read this wrong. They call it weakness. Actually, you gather strength from somewhere. Each small relinquishment tests the other's intention and reduces your weight, thus consolidating the center of your control. 5. The stance of expecting betrayal. Trust is not given easily. You calculate potential betrayals beforehand and program behavior. Is this paranoia? No. It is a combination of intuition and experience. Like Dostoyevsky's characters, you sense the tricks of the human soul. This makes you more cautious. This caution isolates you, yes, but it is also an armor that lifts you up. 6. Mind games with words. Gentle questions, ambiguous compliments, slight ironies. These are your most dangerous tools. People call this manipulation, yet it is a strategy you use to maintain your position in relationships. A poetic intelligence that plays with consciousness, not like an equipped person but like an inner planner. 7. Delaying rejection. You do not decide yes or no immediately. You wait. As the answer is delayed, the other's true color appears. This delay places you at the center of control. People are impatient. Patience is a rare power. 8. Emotional economy. You choose where to spend your energy. Every reaction is like an expenditure. Sometimes giving zero reaction is the most profitable investment. This is emotional budget management. While people spend lavishly, you save, and when it accumulates, the impact grows. 9. Embracing objections. The accusations and scattered words people reflect onto you do not erode you. Instead, you internalize them, turn them, and make them a counter-strategy. This is the reuse of weakness, turning grievances into energy. This transformation gives you a power unlike any other. 10. The flaws of visible vulnerability. You display vulnerability, but only to a certain extent. This comforts people, lowers their defenses. As they approach you, you see their weak points. Is this a trap? Maybe, but more than setting a trap, it is a way to reveal truths. This is what unites you with Dostoyevsky's characters, using pain with art and strategy. 11. The act of belittling yourself. You slightly tuck your success, intelligence, talent under your shirt. People mistake this for empathy or humility, but you use it as a test. How will people behave when they see your true value? Who accepts you when you appear diminished? Who reveals themselves? This is an exam of choosing power. Each of these may look like weakness from the outside, but there is something common inside them: the subtleties of control. Control is not a loudly declared state. It is a court that moves by whisper. The court inside you measures feelings, weighs intentions, and chooses the move. This court works alone, because where many voices exist, democratic chaos ensues. You prefer being the sole owner of the decision. Why do you feel this way? Because human nature, while often satisfied with simple pleasures on the surface, hides complex pains beneath. You see these lower layers and have managed to turn them into a language. Psychologically, this is a protective mechanism. If you have a past of trauma or disappointment, you look at the world more carefully. Every careful gaze allows you to detect small violations that sicken emotions and break people. This is both a burden and a gift. You are aware of your burden, and you use the gift. Dostoyevsky teaches us about the inner conflicts of the human soul. The bone of conscience, the ugliness of desire, the small moments of salvation. In his view, heroism often hides in small concessions. Your heroism is similar, in constant small choices rather than grand gestures. At the center of what we call feminine weakness is this aesthetic, combining fragility with strategy. Ironically, most of the world does this the other way around. Instead of wearing the mask of power and allowing oneself to be hurt, it calls those who subtly build power weak. A dark truth. People often punish what they do not see. Your awareness is a threat for others because no one wants to see themselves in an unseen mirror. That is why they distance you, belittle you, misunderstand you. This rejection hurts. But pain is also a teacher. It binds you, gives you an identity. While everyone says you are different, you carry this difference as a burden and at the same time play with it. Now pause for a moment. As you read this line, an inner response will arise. Defense, accusation, acceptance, or denial. Don't rush to answer this question. Which behaviors isolate you? Which moves strengthen you? You will want to answer these questions hastily because thought disturbs you. But do not hurry. Wait, observe, feel. This waiting itself is a strategy. Step by step an identity is constructed. You are a being few people understand. This is not good or bad. It is simply real. Awareness is a heavy crown. You carry it, and as you carry it you analyze the behaviors, intentions, and weaknesses of those around you. This analysis pushes you into loneliness, but it also liberates you, because you are no longer governed by ordinary roles. You have the ability to write your own story, some pain, some strategy, great attention. Take one step further here. Control is not only about managing others. It is about managing yourself. The gentle training of your emotions, desires, and anger. You do this sometimes with mercy, sometimes with cold calculation. Having these two ties you to Dostoyevsky's characters, feeling both pain and power. Living in this duality is exhausting but provides a life closer to reality. Approaching the close, accept this fact. The society that labels you weak may itself be avoiding looking at its own fragility. Your methods disturb their comfort. That is why they push you away. This exclusion makes you have an identity. An identity eventually gives freedom. You build your freedom with small moves and hidden strategies. Every silence, every delay, every small sacrifice is a brick. Slowly but firmly you advance. Now take a deep breath. Tolerate your inner turmoil because that turmoil makes you human. You are both fragile and calculating, patient and quick to decide, empathetic yet distant. This mixture may isolate you, but it also makes you unique. Remember, noticing often hurts, but the one who notices opens the doors of control. One more thing. Few understand you but accept the gift of being misunderstood. because being misunderstood frees you from oversight and releases you. In that freedom, a new identity sprouts, awake yet peaceful, alert yet calm. No need to reach a conclusion, just observe. Which small weaknesses actually produce great power from you? Ask yourself, is your loneliness your punishment or your secret power?